It was an all-new model for the 2020 model year, and in 2023, and looks like for 2024, it moved on to be the best-selling vehicle in the world. Not best-selling EV, best-selling vehicle in the whole entire world. Hi, this is Joe from Scarff Ford, and today we're talking about this 2020 Tesla Model Y long range. Let's dive in. One amazing battery electric vehicle. I've bought and sold hundreds of Teslas over the years. I own a Tesla myself. I have a 2019 Model 3. Teslas are just so different than any other vehicle on the road. Sometimes I have a tendency just to ramble on about these things, but there's so much to talk about. The first thing you notice when you get in a Tesla is its sparse interior. Some people look at it as a negative. Some people look at it as a positive. I look at it as a positive. There's a lot of positives to this interior. It's very quiet, and it's not overly cluttered by buttons and knobs. Sometimes you can get overwhelmed by all these screens and knobs and buttons and stuff, but everything is contained in this screen here. And it's kind of like your phone. If you use an iPhone or an Android phone, it doesn't have any buttons on it. It's just one big screen. That's kind of the idea of Tesla, because this is infinitely reconfigurable. Tesla is constantly pushing over their updates, adding features, improving the safety, making the vehicle better in a lot of ways. And if they were tied to hard buttons, those buttons are there for everywhere. Those buttons are there forever. This screen you can infinitely reconfigure, and it keeps it relevant. Even though this Tesla is about 5 years old, it has stayed relevant with the over-the-air updates since this car was first purchased in 2020. The display has changed. It's gained a lot of features. It's gotten better. It's one of the few vehicles that actually gets better the older it gets. It seems kind of counterintuitive, but that's the case with these Teslas. We have a nice clean interior. This has the white interior, the red exterior. Nice big roof panel to allow lots of natural light inside. If it gets too bright out, you can get sunshades that insert in there, right up there from Tesla, or there's aftermarket ones like you can get on Amazon, things like that. Plenty of storage. With the clean sheet design of a battery electric vehicle, since you don't have an engine and drive shafts, a gas tank, and exhaust system, it allows for a lot more interior space versus a comparable gas vehicle. So with the screen, you have navigation, you have fantastic parking cameras, you can play video games. You can't do this while you're driving, but like if you're supercharging, or maybe you have a spouse who's in the store shopping, you're waiting in the car, you can kill time doing that. You can also watch movies. Then we have the toy box, where we have the silly things like the whoopee cushion, a colorizer, so if you wrap your vehicle, you can have your avatar actually match the color of the wrap. Believe it or not, pretty funny. You have a multi-track recorder. Some of the things are kind of silly parlor tricks. Some of the things are actually useful. You can have the vehicle play a light show if you want. Silly things like that. Fantastic charging network. The perk with Tesla is they have thousands and thousands of supercharger, fast chargers all over the place. Look, within 10 miles of us, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 superchargers. You just hit that button and it'll navigate you there. And it's always good to navigate to a fast charger, even if you know where it is, because the vehicle will know it's about to fast charge. This one needs a charge now. We're going to do it right after this video. It will start preconditioning the battery for faster charging. Then you have an amazing trip planner. So with Tesla's amazing trip planner, you can pretty much drive anywhere, and the vehicle will figure out the whole trip for you. It'll figure out where you need to charge, how long you need to charge for. So let's say we're going to drive across the great state of Washington to Spokane. Just put it in there, 225 miles, so it's well outside the range. You can see it plans the whole trip for you. It tells me where I'm going to charge for, how long I'm going to charge for, and how much range I'll have when I reach my destination. You can charge generally to 80% in about 20 minutes, sometimes a half hour. You generally don't charge to 100% because this has a lithium-ion batteries. It's okay occasionally to charge to 100%, but for the happy, healthy life of the battery, Tesla recommends for daily use you charge it to 80%. See, it'll give you a little warning message. So every once in a while, it's fine for a road trip to charge it to 100%, but to keep that lithium-ion battery happy, you want to charge to 80%. And speaking of the battery, I know, a few years ago there's a lot of fear-based reporting on, you're going to have to replace the battery in your EV pretty soon. It's going to cost a lot of money. It makes EVs not worth it. But now there are millions of Teslas on the road. Tesla's been making EVs all the way since 2008, and then they really started ramping up in 2012, where the Tesla Roadster was their first kind of car. It was also based on the Lotus Elise platform. The Model S was the first ground-up Tesla. And there are lots of Model S's with 400,000 miles on the original batteries. So it looks like Teslas can pretty easily go to a 200,000 miles on their batteries, and sometimes longer. Most gas cars don't last long. The average life expectancy of a gas car is about 150,000 miles. This still has warranty in the battery, has a balance of an 8-year, I think it's 125,000 mile warranty in the battery and drive units. So it still has plenty of coverage left, but it's pretty uncommon for batteries to fail. The failure rate for batteries on EVs is extremely low, and it turns out that was kind of false reporting on Tesla batteries going bad. It's not true. Or EV batteries going bad, not true. So this one has some special extra software. This has the full self-driving capability. It's $8,000 normally, but you don't have to pay the $8,000. It's included with this vehicle and it will transfer to the next owner. So full self-driving capability is a little bit deceptive. It's not full self-driving where you can take a nap, you can watch a movie. No, you have to pay attention, but now it's hands-free. I have a Tesla full self-driving and I use it every day to commute to work. I put my destination in the GPS. It merges on the highway, it passes people, it makes left and right hand turns, it does all the driving. I keep my hands by my side. I'm ready to intervene. I'm paying attention. There's actually a camera, so if you start being distracted, you're on your phone, it'll give you a warning message. It actually does a really good job making sure you're paying attention. If I start looking over there, it's something too long, it'll say, hey, pay attention, which is good, but it's nice not having to have your hands in the wheel. And I can tell you, the mental workload of being able just to have the vehicle do the work for you, where you're just in supervisor mode, you're just paying attention, ready to intervene, it makes all the difference in the world. Obviously, people have to get past the fact, okay, this car's driving and it's going to be scary. Like, I remember my heart was racing the first time I used it. I was just so excited and it was so amazing, my heart, but you get used to it, the limitations, and it's constantly getting better. When I started using full self-driving a couple of years ago, it was really not that great. I mean, it was pretty amazing that what the car could do, but I was constantly intervening. It was making mistakes. I was worried what other people thought I was driving like a maniac because it do these erratic things. But update after update after update, it just got better and better and better. Now it's to the point where it is pretty good. It's not good to the point where it doesn't need to be unsupervised, because 95% of the time it's fine, but there's, once in a while there's a situation where I need to take over, so it's always good to pay attention, not be distracted. But I'll tell you, if you drive a lot, it makes all the difference in the world. For instance, I was just, in Seattle with my family. I'm somewhat familiar with Seattle, but I was going to different parts. We were at Madison Park, Lake Washington, and then we decided, hey, we want to go to Pike's Place. Well, I kind of know how to get there, but I mean, it'd be kind of a lot of guesswork where I just put Pike's Place in the vehicle and it drove you there. It really makes a big difference if you're not familiar with an area. I can't say enough good things about it. I don't know for a lot of people if it's worth $8,000 or $100 a month, but this vehicle includes it. So if you're looking for a Tesla, this one or another one you're curious about it, there's plenty of Teslas out there for sale that already have the full self-driving software. And the thing with the full self-driving software, if this was subscribed to, if it wasn't purchased with the vehicle, it'd have an expiration date. It'd say, just like right down there, premium connectivity is expiring. Well, that would be the case for full self-driving, but you can see it says included package, so that stays with the vehicle. When we transfer ownership, it will stay with the vehicle to the next owner. Really pretty color combination. Red on this premium white leather. Has these nice black wheel covers. I love the wood shape appearance of the Model Y. It's kind of understated styling, but I really like the way it looks. Since there's no engine up here, you have a frunk, which is more storage space. It's also a safety feature. You have a crumple zone that's 60% larger than that of a gas car. Since there's no engine there, you have all that space to absorb crash energy in a frontal collision. And then, even though the Tesla Model Y is considered a compact, you have lots of interior space because there's no gas tanks, there's no exhaust system, no drive shafts. So all this space is freed up for more interior space that would be normally taken up by mechanical bits and stuff like that. So this is very spacious. Look at all this headroom. I'm 6'2". It's just amazing how much headroom I have, how much legroom I have, and I had that front seat adjusted for my height. This thing is just so spacious. and very comfortable. Lots of space back here. You can fold down the seats. There's a storage compartment over on that side. There's another one on that side. There's the charging cable. And then, since there's no gas tank or exhaust system, we have even more storage under there. There is just so much storage in this thing. It's unbelievable. So this is a dual motor, long range all-wheel drive. So dual motors means it has an electric motor in the front and the back. They had different variations of the Model Y. They had like a single rear-wheel drive, a single motor, which was just rear-wheel drive. This is all-wheel drive, so it does better in wet, slippery conditions. It's also like having two engines, so it makes it really quick. 0 to 60, I think, is a little under 5 seconds, and you have just instantaneous throttle response. And with the weight of the battery so low, it's like an anchor. It has amazing handling, a very little body roll. That battery also makes the low rollover risk, the vehicle, very safe. The Tesla Model Y is actually one of the safest crossover SUVs that you can buy. Excellent safety ratings. And then obviously, let's talk about the elephant in the room. You know, you have Elon. You know, I don't want to get into politics, but there's a lot of people that don't like Elon right now. There's people protesting at Tesla dealerships, vandalizing. I think it's kind of overblown. I think you see this stuff in the media, but it gets magnified. I drive a Tesla every day. I see Teslas all over the place. I mean, the Model Y is the best-selling vehicle in the world, so they're all over the place. People aren't getting rid of their Teslas. I buy cars at the auction. Car dealerships are still buying Teslas in droves. So people are still buying them. I've never had anyone give me the finger in my Tesla. I've never had any hate. My dad drives a Tesla as well. Same thing. So, you know, don't deprive yourself of an amazing vehicle because of one person. There's 140,000 people that work for Tesla, like their chief engineer, their chief designer, other people you see in the Tesla space. These are really intelligent people. They're thinking outside of the box. They're really doing revolutionary things with car construction and stuff like that. And I think they've made one of the best cars out there. I mean, it's just amazing. And I've been in the car business for 30 years, so I've driven and been in a lot of cars. There's a reason why, you know, I drive a Tesla. Don't worry, I have a Ford van too. I've not completely, you know, gone over to Tesla, but I have a love for all cars, gas cars, electric cars. They all have their places depending on your lifestyle. But for a lot of people, a vehicle like this will work, and I think a lot of people would love it. So there's my long-winded spiel again on a Tesla and the Tesla Model Y. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.